Hey yogis, it's Audra here, and we're set for another yoga practice. And for today's practice, I wanted to play around with being a little bit more vigorous in the body, maybe build up a little bit more heat and play with some twisting and rinsing out things. So definitely take your time. Any moment you need to press pause, if you need to take a break in child's pose, and if you're off for a little bit more vigor, you can always press pause, add in another salutation. You can add in your own little variations here, or even, do like 20 Surya Namaskar bees halfway through, if that's your cup of tea. Otherwise, just follow along, and please, again, modify as much as you need to. Prop-wise, you probably just need a block and maybe something squishy for at the very end to sit on if you'd like that. But we'll begin in child's pose. And for this child's pose, you can kind of do a little bit more floppier with the legs. So bring your knees out wide, big toes together, and just drop your bum towards your heels. And then let's reach the arms really far out in front of you and just let your forehead come down to the mat. And immediately, pay attention to the physicality of this moment right here. Can you maybe rub your fingertips onto your yoga mat or whatever you've got underneath you? And kind of feel the floor, maybe with the tops of your feet, your shin bones. You might give your head just a little sway to side, and going right into kind of that center point on the forehead. Being face down is a really good opportunity just to actually hear your own breath. So before we get into Ujjayi, just take a few really deep inhales through the nose. Almost like you're fogging up the mirror, but you're fogging up the floor. Open your mouth, let the breath go. And do that 2 more times. Just inhale. And open your mouth as you exhale. And then 1 more time, take a big inhale. And this time, keep your mouth closed and just feel the breath move out the nose. And just keep getting the breath a little bit bigger with every inhale. And notice how it physically changes in your body. And so when you empty the breath out, notice how your butt almost feel a little heavier. It's like you're emptying and deflating everything, so your whole body sinks a little heavier into the floor. Really try your best to keep your sitting bones reaching towards your feet to the floor, almost like you're creating a little anchor. And now we're going to start to work the arms a little bit. So go ahead and just reach your hands as far forward to the top of your yoga mat as you can. And then see if you can even press into all 10 knuckles here. And taking a few really deep breaths all into the side body, right where your shoulder blades are on the side of your waist there, all the way through the upper arm bone. See if you can start to extend the arms all the way to the top of your mat that way. And then maybe soften the base of the neck. And just feeling each side of your back ribs as you inhale, inflate. And then we'll play around here. So walk both your hands over towards the right side of your mat. Maybe even all the way off. And then try your best to keep your left butt heavy to the floor. You can feel that really big opening of hole across the entire left rib cage, that left side. And as you breathe in, let the whole left side receive the breath. And I really tend to overcompensate when I start to move laterally. So if this bottom side, this right side get a little shorter, go ahead and try to crawl your right fingertips more towards the top of your mat as well. And you'll feel kind of that right side pull out, but you'll keep all that good length on the left. Just a few more moments here. Left butt stays heavy. Big inhale. And roll into those back left ribs. And then we'll walk our hands through center. And then go over to the other side. So So now this whole right side's receiving the breath. You're going to keep this right sitting bone heavy towards the heel. And then you can feel just all of those like right ribs, almost like they're a fabric and they're starting to unravel. You can wiggle that right hand even further. And check in with the base of the neck here. Notice if the inner neck started kind of jack up by the ear, just soften it away. And then if your left side got super short, go ahead and crawl that left arm more forward. And again, a few deep breaths, just really getting the side body here uber long. It's really helpful to find this space before we start to twist. So imagine how this sensation feels, and could you actually find something similar when you rotate your body? And then walking your hands back. Oh, good. And then reach both arms as far forward as you can. Let the breath go into both sides. Good. And then come up onto your hands and knees. And just setting up a tabletop position. And let's go right into cat and cow. So when you inhale, glide the chest through the arms. And drop your belly. Lift your heart up. And then as you exhale, feel the side body lift up. And drop your head. And then keep going. Just inhaling. And then exhaling. And then 2 more times. Inhaling. Feel how the shoulder blades press into your chest cavity here, and just peeling your collarbones wider as you pull the shoulder heads back. And then as you exhale, think like you're lifting up through the very middle, like right at the side body. You're reaching it up. And then 1 more big inhale. Keep your chest open. Good. And then as you exhale, just tuck the toes under and walk it right into your down dog and pedal out your feet. So bend one knee at a time. Just let the opposite heel dig into the mat. And then switch sides. And do that a few times. And then checking in with the feet, go ahead and let the feet be a little bit more than hip distance apart. I know it's not a classical variation here. Go a little bit wider, and then I want you to bend your knees, lift your heels up, and then try and take your sitting bones and reach them as high up towards the sky as you can. Good, and then keep the knees bent. Try and pull your hips to the back of the room, kind of like when we felt we were in child's pose and we're pulling your hips back, so that you can get long through the side body here. Like your arm bones start from your hips, and as you pull your hips back, you're reaching all the length from the side of the torso. Good, and then press into your inner knuckle. And then can you let your chest melt a little bit more towards your hands? Keep pulling your hips back. Good, and then maybe start to press your thigh bones back. And then let the heels come down, let the head drop. Nice long down dog. Okay. And then let's just lift up the heels. You bend the knees again. Go ahead and pick up the arms. Make sure there's even weight in the hands. And then you can start to lift your sitting bones up nice and high. Kind of suck your kneecaps straight up if you can. And then we're going to do something a little different here. Now take both your heels, drop them over towards the right. So your feet are wider than your hips, so you should have enough space to stagger your feet. And then press into your right hand, hug your right hip back. So just like we did in child's pose here, you should feel that whole left side kind of open up. And then inhale, pick up your heels, just go over to the other side. So heels to the left, toes to the right. So it could be really easy to drop into this left hand, into this left hip, pull that left hip back, and then just keep breathing all the way into that right lung. Good. And then lift both heels up. And then let the heels pull back, look at your hands, and just nice and slow walk all the way to the top of your mat. Once you get there, let's grab opposite elbows and just let your head hang. And if you need to bend your knees a little bit, go for it. And let your head dangle. You can shake it yes, shake it no. But I like to feel that little bend of the knees here, and then my sitting bones, let them feel heavy as well. And as you keep your head heavy, start to sway and let everything go so much. Like the heaviness of your elbows let it drag the side body longer. And take a big breath in. And as dramatic as you like, open your mouth, let it go. And now what we'll do is we'll grab a hold of our hands on our lower back. If your shoulders are too tight for this, just grab a hold of your hips here and maybe squeeze your elbows towards one another. But if you can, interlace your hands and bend your knees enough to start to pull your chest forward. And then try and reach your knuckles back. And then if it works for you, you can straighten out the legs a bit more. And then we're going to start to bend into this right knee. Keep your left leg pretty straight. And then you're going to take this left shoulder and peel it over to the right side. So you're just opening up that whole left collarbone. You might even lean the head back. And tinker around with this, wiggle with it if you need. Just pull your knuckles back, pull the center of your chest forward. Maybe drop the head, look up. And then just straighten both legs out. And then switch sides. So you'll bend into your left knee and you'll peel your right shoulder back now. And it should kind of feel like you're flossing in between the shoulder blades a little bit. Maybe a tiny little micro bend of the elbows as you peel your chest forward. And then come back to center. Straighten out both legs, pull the heart forward. And without slingshotting your hands anywhere, just release your hands down. Flip your palms so they face the mat. Good. Can you lean the weight a little bit more forward in towards the balls of the feet? Y'all, it's tricky not having people to look at. When I'm just teaching myself here, I can feel all my little sheets. Good. And let's bring the arms alongside the ears. Good. And then just pull your chest all the way up to stand. Good. And then find your Tadasana. So feet can be hip distance apart or big toes kissing. Classically, your big toes are together, and just depending on the width of your feet, it's going to dictate the space between the heels. But wherever your feet are, don't obsess. Just feel the heaviness of the inner feet. Rebound the energy out the crown of your head, and just allow yourself to take up as much space as you can here. Grow tall. And let the palms spin out. Let the collarbone spread. And breathing length up through your spine. Can you even get the very tops of your ears to ascend up? And then next inhale, let's just see how high we can get the center of our chest. Good, and then don't lose any of that height. Go ahead and open your mouth as you exhale. Good, then come right into Ujjayi if you know it. Inhaling, let's sweep the arms up, look up. We'll just do a little half salutation. And then as you exhale, hinge forward at your hips and a little bend in the knees if you'd like it. And then inhale, come up halfway. And then exhaling, fold all the breath out. And then strong legs. Reach the arms out. If you have the space, you should. Go ahead and look up, palms kiss at the very top. And then as you exhale, hands through to your chest center. So we'll go right into this. So inhaling, reach the arms up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, lengthen forward. Good. And we're going to keep our chest moving forward. Just take this left leg and lunge it super far back. And then you can pop yourself up onto your fingertips for now. Just start to bend into this front knee. Just feeling the heaviness of the hips wake up the back hip flexor. Soften the shoulders. And take a full breath in. And if you'd like to grab blocks, they're always a good option to have close by to you. Today I'm not going to use my blocks under my hands, but you could. And take a breath in. And then we're just going to straighten out this front leg just for a few moments. If you want to pop a wheelie, take your right toes and kind of peel them back towards your shin. So both legs are going to be straight. And open up your chest. And like, if you feel like you're going to turtle shell, come out of your turtle shell. And one more big inhale. Good. And then we're going to rebend this front knee. You could always drop the back knee. For now, I'm going to keep my leg lifted, and I invite you to do that as well, but if it's ever too much, just drop your knee. And we're going to take this left arm out and down, right underneath that left shoulder. And then you're going to take your right arm out like an airplane. What happened to your right hip? Can you keep hugging it in? Good. And then open up your chest a little bit more. And without just leading with the arm, I just want you to peel your right collarbone back. Softening this bottom shoulder away from the ear. Remember that length that I asked you about earlier? Can you find it on the bottom left rib cage? Kind of pull that left lung towards the armpit as you soften the shoulder down. And then start to maybe lift your gaze. Keep that back leg really firm. Take one more big inhale. Oh, hello, twisting. And then bring the hand down. And from here, step into your plank pose. And let's take our first vinyasa. So you can drop onto the knees, bend your elbows, and if you want to take a full vinyasa, you can. Find a little cobra pose, elbows hug in, heart forward. And then exhale, making your way right into down dog. If you can, press through plank. And then down dog. If you ever need to pass through child's pose, that's fine. We'll extend our left leg back as you inhale. And then as you exhale, just step the left foot forward. If you use your blocks, grab them. And then just start to bend into this left knee a little bit. And again, just getting acquainted with this lunge shape. So most importantly, when you do your lunges, we don't want to extend the knee past the ankle. Like if the knee were to go way past the ankle, it would come way in, that's no fun. So most importantly, maybe walk your right or your left foot a little bit more forward. And then notice if this back thigh bone got a little droopy, can you pick it way up? So it's almost like the back leg's in plank and the front leg's in chair pose. And we'll just slowly straighten out the left leg, maybe pop your little wheelie. And then rebend the knee. So the right hand's going to stay down. This right leg, try not to let the hip drop. Try and keep it lifted. And any moment you need to drop onto the knee, please do. And then bring this left arm out like an airplane. Keep hugging the left hip back and into you. Rather than slowly reaching that left arm up. And again, I'm not using the hand to reach. I'm reaching through the entire left chest. So the arm is just an extension of the collarbone. Let every inhale, peel the chest a little bit more forward, and then let every exhale go a little bit deeper. And try not to shorten through these bottom ribs. Can you keep lengthening as you relax that right shoulder away from the ear? One more big inhale. And as you exhale, just plant the left hand down. Now a little different. Pop up into your fingertips, start to look forward, take an inhale. And as you exhale, step right into your forward fold at the top of your mat. And then inhale, reach your arms up, look up. And then as you exhale, hands through to your chest. So continuing on, inhaling, arms reach. Good. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, lengthen. And this time we'll take our right leg and lunge it super far back. So our left leg's going to be forward again. And then go ahead and take your hands alongside your hips. Notice what starts to stabilize, what heat starts to build. Can you keep this back leg really straight and lifted? Hug this left hip in a little bit more. And now let's bring the arms alongside the ears. And so this is my work here. Can you pull your heart forward and down, and then try and lift your belly up off your front thigh. Hug that left hip in for 3. Arms super straight for 2. One more big inhale. You're basically in plank. Just step into plank. Exhale through your vinyasa. Inhaling cobra up dog. And then exhaling downward facing dog. Other side right away. Right leg inhaling. Exhaling, step it through. And keep that back heel really lifted here. Bring your hands alongside your hips. When you flip your palms down, notice how the shoulder heads pick up. Now hug your right butt in. Very nice. And we'll slowly begin to reach the arms overhead. So again, it should really feel like this front leg is doing a big chair pose, and the back leg doing a really strong plank pose. Hey, Buena. No. Go see your daddy. One more big breath in. Good, and then exhaling, bring your hands down, and don't step into plank pose here. You're just gonna look forward, step the back foot to meet the front foot, and fold to the top of your mat. And then inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Now keep your arms lifted. Let's bring our feet together. And then you're gonna take a hold of this right wrist with your left hand. Flip your right palm so it faces the left side over here. I'm just gonna start to pull. So you can keep all of that length. Come all the way up through center and switch sides. And then keep all the length on both sides. And almost like I had little ropes tied to your wrists, reaching straight up towards the sky. Keep your arms in the sideways so extended. Start to shift the weight into your heels and then drop your tuchus right into a chair pose. Let's be here for about 4 breaths. Why not? Get a little lower. Okay, you get your sitting bones to feel like they're made of lead, but keep your chest reaching up. Absorb your front ribs into your back ribs. For 2. We're demonstrating on a scarby. Fold right into it. Inhaling, reach your heart. And then exhaling through the vinyasa. And again, you can always skip whatever you need to. So your inhale is going to reach your right leg. Now as you exhale, step your right foot a little closer to your right thumb. Your back heel is going to be grounded. Keep hugging your right butt in, and let the inhale reach you up into first warrior. Let the exhale ground you through the vinyasa. And then inhaling the left leg when you are ready. Reach it up. Let the out breath step it through. Back heel grounds. On your in breath, first warrior on the left side. And then following your breath to get right back into downward facing dog. Once you arrive into down dog, take 4 full breaths here. Alright, let's play around a little bit. So look at your feet. Make sure they're a little bit wider than hip distance apart. And with a whole lot of enthusiasm, plank pose. So keep your chest reaching forward for me. Try not to torque the shoulders too much here. We're going to play with dropping the heels over towards the right. And try not to make this a back bend. If you are, scoot your bum towards the backs of your legs. And then what happens with your shoulders, can you pull your chest a little bit more forward? Then you might start to feel stuff. Breathe. And then just inhale, pick your heels up, and then exhale, switch over to the other side. So your feet are staggered, even weight in the hands. This right shoulder, notice if it wanted to creep up, pull it away from the ear, and then pull your heart forward. Lift up your waist a little higher, and scoot your tailbone towards the backs of your legs. And I'm doing this with you, I'm not a jerk. And then inhale, heels up. Exhale over towards the right. Inhaling, heels up. We're going to move with a breath. Exhale over towards the left. That's 1. Inhale, heels up. Exhale over to the right. Inhale, heels up. Exhale over to the left. That's 2. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We got one more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale. And one more time, inhale. Drop on your knees. Whew, child's pose. Again, if you want a little extra spice, you could do like 25 more of those. That's all I have today. So we'll keep going with this core work. It's pretty fun. So what we'll do is make your way back into downward facing dog. And if you need to kind of shake any of that out, I know that was a lot, go ahead and give yourself like a little yoga twerk. You can blow bubbles, you can sigh. If you want to throw something at me, you can't. And if you were to throw something, don't break your computer or your phone. Take another breath in. Let it go. Good. And so we're going to eventually come onto our butts. You have a few options. You can play with a little hop up if you'd like. Maybe go right into chair pose from here and then drop your butt. I want to play with a couple hops into Navasana. So what they'll look like is just keeping my arms right over my wrist, bending the knees, looking forward, a little hop up, whoop, and go on down. And we'll do that like 2 more times. It's not going to be pretty. Boop. And then one more time, I'm going to try and hop up and cross my ankles and then put my knee braces on. Hop up, cross, smooth, bum down. Whew. And let's come right onto our sitting bones and sit up nice and tall with your heart. Good. And then come onto your tippy toes. Ooh. And just feel your heart rate for a few moments. And feeling everything circulate. Feeling the work that your body is doing. Feeling that heat that it's making. Good. And then reach behind your thighs. Keep your chest up nice and tall. Good. And then maybe, without trying to roll too much onto the back of your sitting bones here, stay on the center of them and lift one leg at a time. Maybe release your arms. Maybe you straighten your legs. Ooh. Chest up. Higher on the sitting bones. Take a big inhale. And then we're going to exhale. We're just going to hover down. Take another inhale. Good, and then exhale here. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to rise up. And then inhaling, you're going to slowly hover. And if you want to just plant your elbows down, you could always do this here. Exhale is going to lift you up. 2 more like that. Inhaling. Exhale. And 1 more. Hi. I can't play with you right now. Lower down. Good. And everybody, you're going to stay lower and want to go. You're going to reach. Let's do the right leg up. Go away. And then you're going to take your yoga gun and you're going to point over towards your right. And see if you can lift up a tiny bit higher. So the option would just to be dropping this left foot down. If you want a little bit more oomph, float the leg. And then this right hip, try and reach it a little bit more forward. You're going to take a big inhale. Lift up a little higher. And then as you inhale, let's extend this right leg all the way to the left leg. Ooh, don't move your left leg. As you exhale, can you pick up this right leg a little higher? There you go. So we're going to move through that. Inhale the right leg forward. Exhale, coming up. Inhaling. Exhale. And then one more time. Inhale, reach it forward. Bring your yoga gun towards your toes. I'm in this with you. Navasana. Woo. Should feel a little burn. Lower right back down. And then the left leg's going to reach up. Take your yoga gun over towards the left. And then inhale, reach that left leg towards your right. And then exhale, pick it right back up. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhaling. Exhaling. Whew. Inhale. You can always drop that right leg if you need to. Exhale. And then the last time, inhale. Exhale, and reach it forward. Bring your yoga gun towards center. Navasana. And take a break. That one always gets me. Don't know why. I'm just taking a moment to feel either side of the torso, your obliques should just caught on fire just now. All right, then we'll take a little vinyasa and we'll meet in a little upward facing dog and we'll hold there. So however you want to get there, if some of you guys want to hop back, you can, or just step into your down dog. And if you're in your down dog, shift forward to plank, lowering down, and then everybody upward facing dog. And just stretching out your belly here. And then take your gaze over to the right shoulder. Pull that left shoulder back. Keep your legs strong. Come through center with your gaze. And moving over your left shoulder, pull that right shoulder back. And coming through center. Good. And lift your hips up and back. Down dog. You might be able to walk your dog back just a little bit. Literally looking at your dog. Her dad was supposed to keep her in the room. Did not listen. That is okay. God's gonna help us. So now this right leg, let's go ahead and extend it up and back. And let's have a little party. You can open up the hip now, maybe bend the knee. And roll the ankle around. Do you like my yoga blanket, Audra? That's not for you. Okay, then you'll straighten out the right leg and square off the hip. So like roll your inner right thigh up a little bit and try and lift your outer left hip up high. And then take a big breath in. Now as you exhale, we're gonna hug this right knee all the way over towards your left elbow. And then can you soften this right shoulder down your ear and try and lift your left knee or your right knee a little higher. And then inhale, extend. And then exhale, knee over towards the left. Inhale, extend. And then exhale over towards the left. And then last time, inhale, extend. And then exhaling, just hug the knee in through the center, step your foot forward. Then come up onto your fingertips and step this back foot in enough so both legs can straighten out. And then your pelvis is facing the top of your mat here. And then this is where I like to grab my block. And then I like to put my block on the inside of my foot. You'll see why in a second. Hands to your hips, come all the way up. And just checking in with your stance here. So you do want your pelvis to face the front. So you might need to hug this right hip back a little bit more and kind of lift up through this left gut. And bring your right hand to your right hip. Reach this left arm alongside your ear. And we're going to come down to 90 degrees. And as you do that, you can use your right hand kind of pulling your hip to the back of the room. Just a few moments here, reaching your chest forward. And feeling the side length here, especially through this left reaching arm. Feel all that space. And then when you can't reach anymore, just bring the hand down. So you might be on the outside edge of the foot or the inside. Just decide what works for you. And you can bring this right hand to your lower back. And then just kind of feel that right hip pull back, but lift the left belly up. Shoot your heart forward. And it might make sense to keep your hand here or just bring it out to the side like we felt earlier. But don't reach your hand back. I want you to pull your chest back to go into the twist. So revolve Trikonasana. Pravita Trikonasana. And almost like somebody was pulling your pelvis to the back of the room, and you're squirting your chest forward. Find a little bit more space between your vertebrae so you can twist even deeper. Just for 3, 2, and one more big inhale, open up. And then bring the hand down onto the mat. Good, and then just pop up into a little mini standing splits here for a few breaths. So leading with the inner left thigh, walk your hands in, drop your head. And some of you guys might want to work grabbing your hand, not your hands, but your ankle with one hand or both. I always like to take some time to find a little handstand in my practice, so this could be a smart place for you to find that, just hopping right on up. And then wherever you are, left foot down onto the mat. You're at the top of your mat in a forward fold, letting your head dangle. And then you'll wiggle your feet together. And with a lot of enthusiasm, chair pose. And then we'll take this into the twist again, same side. So you're gonna get your sitting bones to drop. Bring your hands through to your heart. And then as we start to rotate over towards the right, notice if this left knee started to jet ahead, can you pull this left thigh bone back into the hip socket, the pelvis, and then think about your right butt getting heavy. And then press into the hands, open up your chest. So you could stay here over an extra 5 breaths. If some of you wanted to play with side crow bakasana, you can. You just drop your butt down. And again, you can always pause, you can work on things here. And if you're going for side crow, you bring your butt all the way to your heels. And then your hands, and there's a number of ways we could go about this. I'm going to teach you just the basic way I've learned this. Bring your hands perpendicular from your toes. And rule of thumb, wherever you look, you're going to go. So if you're looking down at your thumbs, you're not going to go very far. Now you need to look way forward. Keep your gaze far forward. Think of your chest looking forward. And then you're going to bend your elbows enough to make a little shelf for your body. Again, there's other stages where you wouldn't even bring your arm involved with it. But just the basic one, pull your chest forward, bend. Keep looking forward until you don't need your feet anymore. But if you look down, you're gonna go down. Right? You can play with that a few more times. And there's also variations where you don't actually turn like so. You bring your hands facing the same direction of your toes, and then it's the knees that turn, and you lift and you go. And that takes the other arm completely out of the equation, and eventually you can play with straight arms there. Yeah. And if you're still in the twist, everybody just fold to the top of your mat in a forward fold. Releasing, shaking your head out. And then let's get our way into downward facing dog. So let's all take just one Surya Namaskar. Let's rise all the way up to stand together. Inhaling, look up. And then exhaling, let's fold all the way back down. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up. So this is preparing you for your vinyasa. Keep your chest open. And then exhaling, chaturanga. Inhaling, open up your heart. Exhaling, lift your hips. Inhaling, left leg rises. Whole other side to do. Open up your hip here. And shake the leg out. Interesting, when we start to do this like weird asymmetrical stuff, you can pay a little bit more attention with what starts to compensate. Like even here, when you open up the hip, what happened to the weight of your hands? Did that left arm just get a little lazy? Can you draw that left hand back down? Maybe hug your right hip back, but keep opening up the hip. And then straighten out this left leg. Rotate it to neutral to get inhale. And then as you exhale, hug the knee over towards your right elbow. And then inhaling, reach it up. And then exhaling over. Again, inhaling. And then exhaling over. Try and zip it up a little bit higher to your armpit. Good. And then inhale, reach it up. And then exhale, step the foot forward. Step your back foot in enough to keep the hips neutral and the legs straight. Take a breath in. And then exhale, fold all the breath out. And place your block on the inside or outside of the foot, your preference. And we'll come all the way up to stand. Whew. And let's reach this right arm alongside the ear. And bringing your left hand to your hip here. And before we start to go into this twist, take a few moments to ground your feet and breathe length up through your spine. Grow as tall as you can. And let's fold down 90 degrees. Pause. Hug this left hip back. Reach your right arm forward. Find all that length through the side right waist. And then bring the hand down. And here you can see if you lost that length here. Can you keep pulling the left hip back? Reach your right lung forward. Now soften that right shoulder down. For me, I really need to work this right waist up. And then maybe extend your arm up. Keep tinking around here, making sure your pelvis feels like it's neutral. There's some containment in your belt. If you start to lose it, it's okay to come out, adjust, and find the pose that works for you. And then bring the hand down. And lift your back heel up. And then standing splits. And again, you can always point in your hands, play a little hop up. I want to stay. Eventually, we'll just bring that right foot down, dangling at the top of your mat in your forward fold. And this is going to be your very last beloved chair pose here, so make it count, big toes kiss. And shift the weight into your heels. And reach the arms. And then just noticing what starts to change as you rotate. So we're going to start to rotate the chest over to the left. Did this right thigh come forward? Do your best to pull that right thigh bone back, and then drop your left butt down, and then find your twist. And some of you might play with opening up your arms, but again, just being mindful of what starts to actually turn when you twist. Do you want it to be from the upper chest? Or does it happen to be the whole body? Are you actually twisting anything when that happens? And then if you want to, you can come all the way down. Either stay in your twist. You could even stay in a little squat and twisting. That's plenty. Or you can play with your little arm balance. And if you've done this a few times, maybe just take this whole left elbow out of the equation. Take your step. Just for 3. And coming down, and then fold to the top of your mat when you're ready. And let's do my favorite sort of handstand, Tadhastasana. So just bring your hands right underneath your feet here, bend your knees enough, get kind of your rib cage and top of your thighs here, and drop your head. You can lift up on your hands and then press down with the balls of the feet. Maybe play the piano with your toes and massaging it out. Releasing. And let's do one final vinyasa to arrive into down dog. So inhaling, coming all the way up to stand, look up. And then exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, heart forward. And then exhaling through your vinyasa. Coming into down dog. No more funny business. Let's just shift forward into plank pose. Now let's try and lower nice and slow, so elbows and legs strong. And eventually coming all the way into your belly for 5, 4, 3, 2, all the way down. And let's set up a little Sphinx pose here. So elbows right underneath your shoulders. so good. I love you. All right, adios. Adios, bueno. So, setting up your Sphinx pose, what we'll do is we'll make sure we're getting really long through our low back as we do this stuff. So pick up your right leg, try and get to the back of your mat and kind of roll your baby toe down. And then do the same thing with the left. And then dig your elbows in and just pull your chest nice and wide. Get a little Charlie horse in my foot. And then you're going to pull your chest down to lower. And then we're going to bend both of our legs. And we're going to play with a little bit of bow pose. This on our belly should feel pretty nice after all that twisting. So we're going to reach for our legs. And what's tempting is to let your knees come out to the side here. I'd rather keep your knees in line with your hips. If you have the room right now, you can flex your feet. And when you lift up, I want you to think of lifting through your inner heel. You're just going to start to push your feet into your hands. Roll your inner thighs up, and then from here, just let that pull your shoulders up. And just keep kicking your legs into your hands, letting the shoulders soften away from the ears, and then puff your heart straight up. Just for 3, 2, lift your inner heels, and then lower down. Bring your favorite cheek to the mat. Release your legs for a moment. And then we'll do this one more time. And again, if it helps for you to kind of reach your legs first, like all the way to the back of your mat, just so you make sure that you're not compressing your lower back. That's good. And anytime you feel this in your lower back, ease off. Right, it's not worth it. Bend, reach. And then you're going to start to kick your feet so much into your hands that you actually let your chest kind of roll down onto the mat for a second. Like lift your legs so much. Now I want you to do the opposite. Like reach your chest so far forward that you bring the tops of your thighs down. And then can you do both? Reach your legs so far up and then reach your heart so far up. Whew. For 5. Yep. For 3. Go up. For 2. One more big inhale, go for it, and then release everything down, bring your other cheek to the mat. And then let's just press right into a child's pose, just like when we got started. And this one, bring your hands all the way back towards your heels, stick it out of the shoulders. Let's do a couple shoulder releases here. So just come right onto tabletop pose. You're going to extend your right arm up and lean back into this. And then you're going to take this right arm all the way through and thread the needle. You can always extend this left arm forward. Maybe reach it up and tuck your hand into your hip crease. I like to extend my left leg out to the side, kind of like a kickstand for more leverage. Just feeling this whole shoulder blade on that right side kind of expand and widen out across the back. So stay exactly where you are if this works for you. I remember the first couple of times I did this pose, I had really weird shoulders. It was just such an awkward position. I felt like somebody just kind of plopped me down on the ground and it wasn't right. So if you want to just get the same stretch, you can take your whole right arm out to the side and tuck it in. Same sort of thing happening, or just getting it in really deep. And 2 more breaths. And then we'll bring this whole right or left hand down to bear some weight. And then knee back underneath you if it's not. And then extending the right arm, just countering it all out. And bringing the hand down, switching sides. reach the arm. I like to kickstand and reach up, opening up here. And now 2 more breaths. And eventually bringing your hand down, revolving it out, and then setting it down. And then crossing your ankles. Just bring your legs out in front of you. And this is when it's nice to have something squishy to sit on. We'll end up with just a few forward folds and we'll get right into Shavasana. So you can take a blanket, prop your sitting bones up. And then we'll start with the right leg. So let's bend that right knee. You're gonna bring the sole of the foot into the inside of your left leg. Again, get nice and high in your sitting bones. Let's reach the arms up. And then you'll rotate your belly button in line with that left leg. And just bring your hands down. You can stay on your fingertips. But there is that same sort of thing happening on the side body here that we felt in that child's pose, those weird down dogs and the twisting. There is a little twist happening. So can you almost reach this whole right lung a little bit more forward? You'll feel how easy it is to kind of take a big inhale to the right side, but also start to extend the left arm. You can always use a strap for the foot or just keep your hands down. Traction your hands back even just a little bit to propel the chest a little bit more wider. And 1 more inhale. And as you exhale, pull the chest forward and let's rise all the way up. Good. And then use your hand to reach the right leg up, straighten, and then bending into the left knee, bring it out to the side. Get high into your sitting bones, reach your arms up. Find that rotation of your right lung pulling back. And then bringing the hands down. And again, you'll feel how this right side kind of shortens out. What would it take for you to grow longer through your right waist? Maybe reaching the arm more forward, pulling the heart forward. Almost like you have to press in those left ribs. Heart reaches. Just observing your breath. You want to move in and out. Forward, inhaling, and then walking your hands back in, lifting up as you exhale. And we'll finish off with Paschimottanasana, so straighten your legs out in front, and again, you can always sit on something. Sit up nice and tall. You can might scoot your inner legs down, your outer legs up, and then hinging forward. You can always just grab a hold of a strap or stay on your fingertips. And this time, think about both sides of your torso. Instead of shortening, I want you to grow it longer. breaths. Go into a little bit of a floppier, passive variation of the forward fold. Let your head go. Release your jaw if you need to. Roll the way on up. Remove your blanket off to the side and come onto your backs. And the very last thing here, just hug your knees in. Let's take an easy twist. So nothing fancy. You can scoot your butt over to the right side of your mat, hug your knees in. And sprawl your arms open. Oh, thank you for your kisses. And drop your gaze over to the right. You're on my hair. Adios, buena. Goodbye. Adios. Notice that sense of heaviness towards the end of your practice. And everything's settled into the earth. And bring your legs up and just go over to your other side. And shoulder heads stay rooted. And then it's one leg at a time and sprawling completely open across the floor. If you need any props, go ahead and grab them. Just understanding all of the stuff that you rinsed out today, all of that strength that you built. And just letting your whole being adjust into this new space. And let yourself settle into the Shavasana. Namaste, yogis.